field, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. As far as rallies,
ain't got jobs here for them and really ain't got housing here for them.
Some people in Sylacauga have concerns about the Haitians in their small town and how they are being brought here.
If you can't stop that, then we're going to have to stop it. You understand?
There's no way these people are paying their own rent, paid their way over here, or any of this other.
The bottom line.
Small Town, Alabama. At it again. You woke? Time to get up. Hello and welcome to Thought You're Woke No Speed Limit Podcast. I'm your host, Alvin. Hope you guys are having a terrific day. Now remember, if you're watching this video, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And when you watch this video, make sure you leave a comment at the end. Sylacauga goes crazy over Haitian immigrants. So what's going on with the Haitian immigrants you say they're in Sylacauga? Maybe you need to watch this.
Politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroyed.
That one particular statement by our president, that one racist, extremely racist and derogatory statement made by Trump in response to a question about his crowd size, has sparked controversy across America. We most notably in national news, you hear about Ohio and the issues there, but you probably have seen them talking about this on Fox News, talking about Sylacauga, Alabama, a town I'm very familiar with. Sylacauga is a small Alabama city situated in southeastern Talladega County. It is approximately 47.5 miles east of Birmingham, Alabama. The population of the city is around 12,000 or so. The median family income is $46,137. Not a whole lot of money considering that the state average is close to $60,000. And the city is 64% white, 31% African American, and Hispanic and other immigrants make up about 5% of the total population. The major employer in the area is manufacturing, which employs a little more than 1,400 people, followed by healthcare services, which employs about 600 or more people. Mining also has a significant presence in the area. At the peak in 2000, Sylacauga's population was well over 13,000, but has been steadily declining ever since. The poverty rate is 22.4%, which is significantly higher than the state average of 15%. Avondale Textile Mill was a major employer in the city and closed in 2006. Since then, the city has been steadily in decline, and resources such as housing and jobs has seen an increase in violent crimes such as murder, robbery, and also loitering. Nomac opened in 2022 and had employed over 1,000 in its plant and will be expanding, giving new life to Sylacauga. Now you ask, what caused the controversy? Sylacauga, as of recent, has been the center of controversy over 800 Haitian immigrants that have recently moved into the area. In fact, the city council meeting got so heated over the subject that the city council meeting was canceled. In fact, let you watch part of it here.
All right,
Now it's time for anyone to address the council. No action will be taken at this meeting. Please come to the microphone and state your name and address for record prior to addressing the council.
A lot of people in Sylacauga and the surrounding area are concerned about the migrant influx that we're seeing and how that's going to change our way of life. Maybe you don't live in town. Maybe you guys live in a nice neighborhood. Maybe the money is that great. I would like to know how much money you're getting from the federal government to ignore this problem or be complicit and enable it, because either way, it's happening. And it's not happening against your knowledge. It's obviously happening in your city, so you know what's going on. And you wanted to shut down the meeting last time, which means we're going to talk about it this time and hopefully not shut down the meeting, because we have the freedom to speak in this country. And I wouldn't be here unless I saw that, but I found that very disrespectful and very much against our human rights here in this country. And also, with the influx of these migrants, it's against my human right to be trampled on and to have my economy and my housing prices skyrocket because of federal housing vouchers are going to raise the cost of housing in my city due to the influx of migrants. Okay, because we all know how that works. A landlord, all they have to do is just tell the feds that it's $5,000 a month for this little old one-bedroom apartment or whatever, and it's really only $800 a month. But at the same time, they're getting their money from the federal government. It's raising prices on everything else around this community. It's hurting us. It's raising tax values on properties. And it's not people coming in with a whole bunch of money that want to spend money in Sylacauga and boost the economy. It's people that are coming here. They're not like immigrants of the past, all right? They're immigrants that are coming in here and getting free houses, free phones, free healthcare, and not having to do a damn thing for it because it's like an invasion. And as far as I know, all I see are military-age males. When I walk into the Walmart around here, it feels like I'm in a third world airport. And I don't see a whole lot of families. So what's going on is what I want to know. And it's not fair. It's against our rights. We did not consent to this. And the people are pissed. I'm one of them. Apparently, I'm probably the only one that's here tonight, unless anyone else wants to add to what I have to say. But it's my duty as a citizen of this country to tell you what you're doing wrong and to stop it. And to respect our borders, respect the people of this nation, respect the progeny that built this nation, the ones that built this nation. And you realize you're opening a can of worms that is going to cause a whole lot of issues for our state. I've lived in other states. I've seen it. And you're gonna add to crime. You're gonna have different groups of people at odds with each other. It's not what you might think it is. In fact, it's the opposite of what they tell you it is. It's not always that great. And when you start having hotels and apartment complexes taken over by like-minded individuals and they all get together, what are you going to do? You're going to stop that? If you can't stop that, then we're going to have to stop it. You understand? So I want something to be...
I decided to stop there because racist rant was starting to invoke Rosewood, starting to invoke Tulsa, Oklahoma, Wilmington, South Carolina. If you know anything about that, that's when white people who were upset about black people progressing decided to burn down the black sides of towns in their cities. Yep. It's still happening today. The brain trust of America still has people like this man who says he's going to have to do something about what? This whole idea of using your Second Amendment rights to invoke what you think is supposed to be American idealism, a whiteopia, where you get all the resources you want and everything you want. Now, let me say this about the immigrants. In recent years, Haitians escaping the current violence and disaster that have wreaked havoc in the tiny island nation have immigrated to the U.S. Many have got legal status as refugees. They have work visas, and some have obtained driver's licenses. Most have jobs and have joined churches in the communities they have joined. While it is difficult, they are also adjusting to living in the U.S. and our culture. The local churches in Sylacauga is even offering a program to bridge the gap, teaching its members French Creole. So how did this become a problem for the locals? Well, as I discussed earlier, there are some problems in Sylacauga. Part of that's poverty. Part of that's housing problems. It would be easy to say that's the only problem in Sylacauga, but Sylacauga is a small town that has been about 13,000 people for most of its history. There are other immigrants who have lived there who didn't feel comfortable living there because the people were untrustworthy and racist towards them. Um, that is a major problem in a town like Sylacauga. This person invoked something, and I'm going to bring it up here. It's called the Ku Klux Klan. Basically, his speech is like he's like, we are going to do something about it. What are you doing about it, and why are you doing about it? You know, Trump likes to always bring up the fact that he's going to employ troops on the streets of major cities that are having problems. 10 to 20 people die a year in a city of 12,000 people. I live in Birmingham. Yeah, I know our murder rate's higher, but 10 people die a year, and it's not immigrants that's killing people in Sylacauga. It's white or black people in Sylacauga that are killing citizens in Sylacauga. So it's Americans that are doing any violent crimes. These are Americans who are riding around on the bikes in the cities because people don't have jobs and can't afford cars, and stealing out of other people who do have jobs and houses. That's who's stealing there, Americans. So these immigrants that are there, well, they're there legally. They're actually working. And the city councilor in this same video will explain something in a second that makes all of this make sense. However, for some reason, the white people in this small town who are educated, Alabama style, in other words, 86% of the city has a high school education. Of those 86, 16.5% have a college degree. So there's a small number of people with the brain trust. And those who graduate from high school, it's not obvious what they graduated from. It's a manufacturing town, so most people don't have to graduate from high school to work for a manufacturer. This man claimed to have information on these immigrants, talking about they had these vouchers to be here in the United States, and housing vouchers and things like that. Well, they had legal green cards. They had visas. That means when they work, they pay taxes, just like you do, tax-paying citizen. They pay taxes as well. They're not living here tax-free at all. In fact, they stay at the hotel, so they're paying to stay at the hotel, and they or stay in an apartment building, and they're paying the rent. They're here working, trying to live the American dream, as people would like to say. They're here trying to do the right thing, but you, being the American that you are, who think that because your forefathers, who are all white, give you the right to question the ability of any other immigrant, because you know your ancestors came over here on the Mayflower. They immigrated to this country and they stepped on the heads of the native people who lived here. Maybe they are the ones who when they were afraid. That's why you're afraid now, because when y'all stepped on the natives, the people who lived here, the actual citizens that live here, you stepped on their necks. Stepped on their backs. In fact, Sylacauga is probably an Indian name. So it's named after Native Americans that once lived in your city, right? That city doesn't belong to you, it belonged to them, but you chased them out. You went to war and chased them out. You don't live far from the Coosa River, which is also another Native American name, right? You, the immigrants who came over here, now you're scared of these other immigrants doing to you what your ancestors did to them. I'm sorry y'all don't have jobs in your small town. They have to import workers because a lot of you people don't have enough education in that small town to work at the particular businesses in Sylacauga. I have seen that firsthand. I'm sorry if I sound crude and rude about people in Sylacauga, but facts are facts, okay? So now I'm speaking freely. I'm speaking my mind, but I want you to hear what what this young man had to say about y'all, and also what the city council said in the end.
I'm tired of it.
The federal government nor any private entity has any legal obligation to notify you or any other local government when they're bringing immigrants into your city. None. Morally, you might think it's right, but legally, they don't have to. It's amazing to me that such a small group of people is creating such disorder in this town. I didn't hear a peep out of anybody when there were Croatians working at Coosa Valley Healthcare. Nobody was asking about their immigration status, if they were legally vetted. We have a large Mexican population in this town. I don't hear anybody crying about their immigration status. Are they here legal or illegal? But then you go to all these restaurants and different businesses in town, they're working there. You still going there spending your money. I don't hear anybody questioning the immigration status of all the people from the Middle East that are buying up convenience stores, gas stations, and restaurants with Mexicans cooking in them, and you're going there spending your money, not concerned about if they're taking your money, their profits, send it back to the Middle East, supporting terrorism. Where's all this conspiracy about a few people who want to work coming from? You listen to all these conspiracy statements, the former president talking about they eating dogs and cats. Give me a break. These people are here just to get some work. You got people riding by where they live to see what they're doing, being nosy, instead of taking care of your own business. It does not make sense. You're not paying their rent. You're not buying their groceries. So why are you worried about who's doing it?
There's been a lot of stuff posted on social media. There's a lot of things that people are saying. So the way I operate, I wanted to go and see them and see what they have to say. So and I also had an interpreter there. There's a guy that made contact with me. He's a pastor in Birmingham, and his original nationality is Haitian. So he's been here since he was small. So he speaks fluent in Creole and English. So he was able to help me translate. So amongst them, there was one that, he spoke the most English. He was kind of just like the representative for everybody else. So the way it works is they are here on a visa. They do have papers. There's an 18-month visa. So they're being employed by a temp service. I don't know which temp service it is, but from what they were telling me, the temp service employs them, and then the assignments only last for 3 months. So when the assignments end, they just go somewhere else to find employment. So, and I also found out that there's like 200, in Talladega that we didn't even know anything about. And so the way they find employment is really just from a word of mouth. So say the people that are here today, they may not even be here tomorrow. So if they can't find work here, then they'll just go to the next city, wherever somebody else is, to just find work. So there was a few, I know the ones that was going to church with Ashton, there was a group of people going to church with Ashton, but this Sunday only one person showed up, and I asked them, I said, where are they? They said, well, they were in the hotel at Jackson Trace. They're not, all of them aren't there anymore because they went to a hotel in Ellick City because they got hired at a plant there. So they said just the way it works, whoever calls like a word of mouth, just say, I moved to California and I call Nate, hey, there's work here. Nate get on the bus or we load up in the car and we go to California for work. So they're basically just here for the American, the American dream, just to work and provide a better life for their families. So, and I spent a good bit of time over there on Sunday. Ashton even came over. He came over with me because I had already been there with over an hour because I sent the guy that I had made contact with. I actually sent him to church with Ashton so he could just help translate the services. So, and another thing to add too, like these people, they're showing up in different churches. And what's special is they don't even understand what's being said. They don't even understand what's being communicated, but they know it's a place of worship, so they're just going. They're going into the churches, they stay from worship, and they leave. So, I had a pretty good visit on Sunday. So, as far as I know, they're just here for work. The same people that are here today, they may not even be here tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. It's simple as that. Living the American dream. They're here, they're working, They move from city to city right now because they don't have permanent jobs. They can barely speak the language, but they go wherever they can find work, and that's what they're doing. That's what a lot of us in America do now. We work. We try to find our way in this country. They're not there to steal. They're not there to take your place. They live in your town for a little while, and yeah, they may partake of some things in your town by spending cash at stores and things like that to buy groceries. So that's money for your town. However, I never get us in America. I don't get our racism in this country. I don't understand it. Now we're saying, well, we're not racist against black people. We're racist against immigrants. So where does all this stem from? It stems from this one guy named Donald Trump, who decides to make a tirade that you would expect most Americans to say, that's terrible. That's awful. That's terrible. Then not only does it get said by him, and then it gets backed up by his vice president, J.D. Vance, and then said again, and again, from one town to one city to another. And the sad part about this is that there are a group of individuals who follow these guys. Not every person in their group, the Make America Great or MAGA movement, who actually says this or actually feels this way. But if you support this, there's a problem. Because you see, the problem that it's causing here. They've talked about Springfield, Illinois, and you've heard that these calls were for foreign countries about the death threats and threats of violence against schools and other places. The problem with that was it was because of what Trump said in his debate that was watched nationally and watched internationally, right? So if these things were watched internationally, if these things were watched nationwide by people, and then all of a sudden they decided to draw a distinction from it. One person you did see in these videos, by the way, these videos are all available on AL.com. Also, there's a video by Channel 13 News. There's one available by Fox News as well. One person that was spoken this talked about losing a cat that was missing in the neighborhood. And another person said these people smell. I didn't want to include that stuff because I hate the racism. I hate the fact of racism. I've been to Sylacauga. Sylacauga stinks. Let's just be honest. It's a stinky town. So I don't know if they know what stinks or not. Anyway, it's sad. It's sick. It's bad. It's bad. It's that southern racism. It's that clanism that keeps coming up in this state. It's just clanism doesn't go away, and I don't know why it won't die. We need to get rid of it. It's a sick part of our state. We suffer from so many things in the state. We've got violent cities, and these are Americans killing Americans in these cities. You can say black Americans, white Americans, it doesn't matter. There are people killing. We got small towns with people of less than 20,000 people that are more violent than the city of Chicago. Think about it. But what we are worried about is what these immigrants who are here to work, who are here to live peacefully, who are here going to church, who are here worshiping God. That's who we're worried about. Alabama, Sylacauga, you got to do better. We got to do better. So I've been talking here for quite some time. Again, I'm going to say this again, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, I'm looking forward to the comments, good or bad, about what I just said. Peace out.
You have been listening to Thought You Were Woke, No Speed Limit Podcast.